Hello, everyone. Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day. It's Nick Hunter. We can see Nick's smiling face. Welcome, Nick. Hello, Nick. Are you awesome today?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Audio.
As usual, yeah.
So welcome to another awesome day. Today is another beginning FileMaker Developer Day. Why are we here? What are we doing? Well, I'm Richard Carlton, creator of fmtraining.tv, where we build and create lots of great FileMaker training every day. We create on-demand training, about 600 videos a year, and we create on-demand, and then we do live training on top of that. So we do about, I don't know, I want to say close to 1,000 videos a year. It's a substantial budget that we put into building great FileMaker training because people prefer to watch videos and to learn on videos. The live streams allow you to ask questions live. We welcome you to be here. If you're someone who normally watches this recording, if you can come live and ask questions, it's much more useful for you, I think. So if you want to help support the channel, definitely make sure you go to our website at fmtrain.tv. And you can come up here and you can see the live tabs, our upcoming training schedule that you can see right here. And then you can come over here and take a look at we have courses in here. Of course, we have a 19 video course, etc. But we don't sell the courses individually anymore. We sell them as bundles. So we do have a bundle that's available. We even have a double pack bundle available for $349. So if you're interested in a double pack for $349, I will see if we can post a link to that or otherwise get that information to you. If you have questions about this broadcast, you have suggestions, you want to ask a question about it, and you want to do it kind of offline, then send us an email to support@RC Consulting. That's support@rcconsulting.com. So we have Nick Hunter, who's a senior engineer, very experienced individual. We welcome here. Let's talk about things, Nick. What would be the things that we're going to do as we talk about? I guess the number one thing would be, in my mind, as you build a FileMaker file, is commenting what you're doing. And a lot of people don't do that, but I think it's a mistake. I think you really need to comment your scripts as you build them.
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining to all my customers is the system should be behind the scene. Everything should be neat and clean and documented. This is extremely time consuming.
Yes.
I give pretty much 15% of my time doing things like that, right? But down the road, you save a lot of time because 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, there's no way you can remember what you're doing. Even something, it's happened to us every time. When you go back there and say, what did I want to do here? I didn't. I don't remember.
Right.
So you waste time. So commenting is key, but the naming, how you name your script is key too.
Yeah. So the first thing I would do is there's a couple things to learn along the way. And once again, this is targeted for more beginning and intermediate people. So the idea is that as you write scripts, you create scripts, you're going to want to comment them. And the comments are things that will not activate. They are things that are just purely notes to you. And the way you normally do that is you put a pound or a hashtag, right? The pound sign right here, and a comment. And then whatever you put in here is going to be the notes that only you're going to see, if that makes sense. Only someone writing the script will see this. It's really helpful to understand what you were doing, what you were thinking at the time you did it. Explain as much as you can. Some scripts have a dependency when you write them. Like you will assume that you're on a certain layout if you're going to activate this script. Okay? You should say that in the script at the top. You should say something, hey, this script assumes that you're on a certain layout with a certain record or certain whatever. Or maybe there are no dependencies at all. Just say, hey, this script will activate anywhere, it's fine. But you need to put the commentary in that. It's really good. This script right here is a copy of starting point. It's got a dialogue in it. There's no commenting in here. It should have a couple more comments in it. It's not really a great example. If you come down, like some really small scripts, you don't comment too much because what are you going to do? You can read that and see that. But if you go like the startup script over here for FM starting point, you can actually see where we start putting these comments into these black lines here, right? So log in, but initially is this, do this, do this. See if this, and you can tell when I write, because I write with these three little dots that kind of try to space out. I write like I talk, and so if I need a very long space in it, I will write it like that. And so, and then I will put a lot of lines here just to make it visually, so as I can see the sections, I will visually see that. Now, they're obviously not an identical uniform way, because this one has a certain length different than this one. It's not so much making the script pretty. I'm just visually looking for chunks, right? So chunks of code. Chunk there, scroll down, another chunk, right? And I don't know what snick process off screen is. I think that was probably supposed to be sneak process off screen, probably. I probably misspelled it. But you get kind of the idea. And then there's another section right here, right? And then do this section. And then come down here. And then you can see when someone else in the company has commented it, because notice how that I have this visual separation, right? There's a visual separation. And then you come down here, they write comments like it's, you can't visually, you have to actually look for the color changes and assume that you see the color changes. So this right here is a different section entirely. I would normally put lines on there or something to see that. One of my other engineers wrote this, right? So you could tell when someone else has been doing it, they do it differently. Then this is one that I wrote, right? So is it the most pristine, consistent? It's like, it's like if this was on your user interface, this would suck. But this is under the hood comments for you to understand what's going on, right? Like if I say the word check to see if PSOS is functional, it's pretty clear that we're testing for some process called PSOS. Now, whether you understand what PSOS is or isn't, doesn't matter. It's really kind of an intermediate kind of topic. But the fact that you could tell that we're checking to see if it's functional, there's probably a reason we wanted to see if it's functional. If I read through, I could figure that out. But so then we see, check to see if the client is at least FileMaker 17, right? So there's another one. That one's really obvious. Everyone, including beginning people, should probably understand that kind of concept. So this is documentation. Michael Gravel, my mistake, my scripts tend to be too long. My suggestion is to make them short. Okay, Nick, you want to talk about short scripts versus long scripts and what you think about that?
Yeah, okay. So the problem of long script is you have a problem to keep the track from the top to the bottom. When you have when you have long script, right? You have more risk of having troubles, because you might conflict with what you're doing before, and then you cannot see clearly in which context you are, and sometimes you can do something terrible, like deleting records in the wrong context and say, oh my gosh, I deleted all my invoices. And so the long script is to avoid absolutely. Unfortunately, like the startup script here, that script we cannot avoid to be long, but there's ways to do something like that to prevent the long scripts like that.
Well, yeah, you could break it down. You could have one script that calls subscripts, and that's fine. In this case, when this script started off, it started off pretty short, and that was in starting point 1.0. And then it's progressively got longer since then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the goal is visually you can break it down. So visually I can see between here and here. I know that's a section. That's why when I comment it, I put these lines in here. And then one of my goofy engineers gets in here, and I have to go, and so it's like, what do you do with that? So my suggestion is to make it visually. So here you can see, section. Yeah. Then there's another one right here. It should have its own, and so the other thing is people suggest is lots of white space. Lots of white space has to break section. There's more white space here. What does the white space do? It does nothing. It just is a visual break. So you don't have to do the lines like I do. I'm a very visual person, right? You could put more white space in here. And then as you're scrolling, you would see that and you go, aha, that's a different section, right?
Yeah. So I have an anecdote about this. I was at FileMaker. We were working on their big database. They have the bug database over there. Mm-hmm. So I was working there, and I couldn't debug a script. I couldn't for weeks. I couldn't. And then came FileMaker 14 with the new script workspace, right? And I start putting breaks like that, and then suddenly, after 5 or 6 weeks trying to debug this script, I found the bug because I start breaking things, and I said, "Oh, here why? Because I'm not in the right context," and I couldn't see that before I start breaking things like that.
Absolutely. So Nathan Schneider at the top talks. So we have the different sections that we talk about, right? Section on screen. I'm using my hands here. Section, right? So, but at the top, it's good to have like a outline. And Calvin, I don't know if I got a Calvin file over here or not. I could show, but And of course, I'm going to go to one Calvin file, and it won't have in it what we need. What I'm doing, I got a keyboard button here. I press, and it hides all the stuff on the desktop so it doesn't distract people. I'm going to pop this open. I'm going to look for a Calvin file. What would I look for? What would be a Calvin file in here? One of you folks here. These are all samples that we've cooked up. Not all the samples, just the ones that we've covered over the last, say, 6 months or so. File control, no. Search highlight demo. That was a Jonathan Ray one. You want to check this one real quick? We check. This is a Jonathan Ray one. This is a really cool one here. Right. Let's take a look at scripts. Use a keyboard shortcut. Oh, there's no comments at all. So anyone see Jonathan Ray's in the other room? Boo on Jonathan. Right. So much for using Jonathan as a good role model. Loading containers, sample, portal, sort, trick. Audit. Oh, audit log. Calvin did the one after this. I don't think he did the first one. Okay, so there's a comment there. Startup script. Okay, you can tell I've been writing it because I'm the guy who puts these lines in here, right? So I must have been involved in that one. So yeah, I need to find is the calendar kit or one of the new ones. Well, okay, here's a little bit of one here. So here you see where people start to put the assumptions up here at the top. And so what you'll see is what they do is have a little glued section of comments here. They're kind of generic, right? And and so he glues this in. It'll say who did it, what the dependencies are. Nathan Schneider just pointed out that it's really useful to be able to specify the script parameters that are needed, right? Does that make sense? So here you see once again. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, no, sure. I want to continue in that topic here. Can I show my screen right quick here?
Yeah, let's show your screen. Let's go back to Nick real quick.
Okay.
All right.
So here I have a script from the FM Launchpad that you can get for free, right? So the comment is great when you are inside the comment here. For example, you see here an on first window open. So I have to. So you have like I'm setting the platform, and I set the permanent link, and I exit script is performance server. So I'm putting kind of very precise and quick comment. Okay, set, exit, set platform. Right? It's very short because when you code, you don't have time to read a novel. You don't have time. So this is what you do. But after that, what can help you a lot here is how you organize your script here and how you name the script. So you have the comment is great, but I saw, for example, that you don't need to say from where the script is triggered. Like here, if you open this, you have all the scripts for users, all the script for the system, all the script for home, all the script for. So they are organized in a way that you know where they come from. So then you know that all those scripts here are inside users. They cannot be somewhere else. And I don't know if you notice how I'm. First of all, okay, I'm pretty sure you're going to come to the numbering of script, Rick. But the name of the script is key as well, even much more than the comment, because it helps you to retrieve a script very easily. Demonstration. As you can see here, I'm saying add, validate, cancel, add, validate, cancel, add, import, show, import, add, go to. So the first word is what is doing. It's doing this. It show, it export, it add, it delete, it validate, it cancels. So because if I want, for example, all the validates, okay, this is all my validate script, or all my add script. This is all my add script, right? Then you say what the script is doing per se, what it is. Is it a trigger? Yeah, you say this is a trigger. So that means if you want to trigger, you search for a trigger, all the trigger here, and you want a trigger that sets something, for example, So you can do that. So after that, when you have a trigger, you say from where it's coming, on layout keystroke. So if you want the on layout enter, for example, you have the on layout enter, or on layout keystroke, for example. You have all of this, right? So the naming is an extension of the comment that helps you to retrieve and position yourself when you read the script, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no. So let me jump in. So go back up to just scroll down a little bit here, Nick. Yeah. So hold right here. All right. So okay, and don't move around because I'm zoomed in, and when you move around, it really throws the screen. So this is an important concept. So a couple things here, and then and I'm going to wave my hands around a little bit. So let me see if I can bring myself back here. Whoop! No, dang it. Hang on 1 second. You'd think we'd learn how this software works after a while, right? Wouldn't you? Right. So we have to go up here, go down like that. All right. So that way I can leave Nick kind of there, and I can bring myself over here. So here's the rub with all this. I a lot of this is personal preference, but you're going to find a certain consistency when you talk to enough senior engineers. So I write in my scripts descriptions more verbose comments because I want, a lot of times I'll be taking my time trying to mentally work through what I want to do, and I will explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I might write 5 lines in a description. Nick says he doesn't want to read a book. That's fine. Steve Allen, other engineers I have are very much like that. They want, like, if it's super obvious, they assume that you have a brain, you'll figure it out. But what I do is I frequently will say I'm doing something, but not only what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it. Because I write the code. There's like parts of like the company system for my company that I'm mostly training with you folks. I might not see this code for another 18 to 24 months. I'm not going to remember why I did it. I can read that it's setting a field. I like to know why. And what were the complications at the time I wrote it. I go back and find if I write 5 sentences, and it might be bad English, but I understand why I did what I did, and I'm like, oh, that's why, right? And so you need to find something that works for you or works for the people you work with. If you have a team of people, then you need to probably come together, sort of harmonious thing. The other thing is that I love Nick's naming here, okay? I tend to name, what I do is when we have modules in a system, like say you have a contacts, like a CRM, like starting point, contacts, accounts. You can organize it really one of 2 ways. You can organize it by function, like GTRRs, right? Like you could be on a portal on contacts or accounts and GTR and show me the invoices or something, right? Go to related record is what GTRR stands for. You could have all those GTRs in one section, okay? However, I choose, because the way I am is the way starting point is, I choose by module. So the contacts, everything that has to do with contacts is in the contact section. Accounts is another section. Invoice, another section. Projects. It's organized that way because its gymnastics are a little bit more easy for me to jump through. I have a core system that predates starting point, it was like the before starting point, called BC. Doesn't matter, but it's called Business Commander, and that's organized the way Nick is doing it here with like all the similar functions, like all the print reports are in one, even if it's print reports in invoices or accounts or contacts or other places like that, all those print reports are in a print reports folder, okay? And for me, my brain just doesn't work as well that way. So you're going to find personal preference here. Some things I think are non-negotiable. 1, comment something. 2, put numbers on it. Definitely put numbers on it. I really like the word trigger on here. That tells you what's going on. If you have a parameter that has to be passed, he puts that in here. I don't do that, but I would love to personally adopt that and remember that. These numbers are critical because you will frequently see things where you'll see a dialogue and it chops all this off. You can't see any of that. You'll just see this, and you'll see 1312. Another thing is I've seen customers, some of you are like this, you'll say, oh, they'll write this thing that says print label. I've literally been in a customer solution and they had 4 print label scripts. Print label. And they all did different labels on different things. But they all said print label. Now FileMaker internally, understand, it doesn't use the name to know what script to call. It doesn't use the name of the layout to know what layout to call. Very generically, it uses a hidden ID number. So you can call every one of these scripts could have the exact same name. We couldn't tell them apart, but FileMaker would know. So understand that the numbering there is not for FileMaker. The numbering is for us. So if I have a customer that says there's a problem on this layout and starting point, and there's 100 layouts and starting point or whatever, he says it's layout 131. I always ask, what's the number? Because they'll say, data entry, list view, report. I'm like, just give me the number, 131. And so go, Nick, go.
Yeah, and then you can extend the way I did here with the ABC. So you have one number, and then you call, for example, if you call here let me remove this. If you call here the script 1350, so you have those scripts here coming, and you have the A, B, C. Okay, so they're all coming with you. So you see the point here. So this is great when you can connect together because they're all together. Add, new, validate, and cancel. This is the same dialogue. This is a dialogue that has those things, right? So you can do this. So when you do the numbering here, it doesn't matter if they follow. It's great if they follow, but it doesn't matter if they don't follow. If you need a new script here and you want to add a script here, you can add the script 0014. You can add it here. Doesn't matter. Okay, it's what matters is it's a numbering. So what you can do also, you can group the numbering by entities, right? So for example, users, they are from 1300 to 1350, right? So and same here from 1350 to, so you can go on. So you know the 1300, yeah.
The grouping,
so you know the
yeah. See, I was grouping them by modules. You're grouping them maybe a little differently, which is fine. It's not right or wrong, or wrong and wrong, or right or right.
No, exactly.
It's just,
yeah.
It's just a matter how you're like I write very verbose descriptions, and my other engineers actually complained to me in writing that they didn't want to do it that way, and I said fine, because it was really kind of a funny conversation. I really wanted to reach to the computer and slap one of my engineers who first name rhymes with Steve.
Yeah.
And I said, if I'm writing the check for you to do it, and I want you to comment a certain way, then I get what I want. The guy writes, and if you want to work for another customer and they're okay with that other commenting, that's fine. But I like the verbose. And he actually wrote in the log, I would not normally write it this way, but my boss is like telling me to write it this way, and I don't want to write it this. It's still in our finished goods system. It's still sitting there.
So for people like Richard, I have a trick for you today. So when you want to add, so hello, my name is Nick, and I like to tell about my life, in comments, right? And you want to add a row here, so you go there and you add a new thing like that, and you say you continue, and you add a new word. Okay, so that means at the end of your commenting in the script, you end up having a script line 267. So instead of having this, you can add a line within the comments like this. So that means you can have comments like this.
Oh, is that an option? Is that option key in a return, or what is that?
Yeah, it's a control key. Okay.
Control key. What is that on Windows? Windows people, what is that?
It should be the same on Windows because it's control, so it should be the same. Windows people can, they can confirm to us. But the advantage of this is that you can have multiple lines, multiple rows in the comments without having to increase your line numbers by 10 when you at the end of your commenting. If you like the comment like Richard, like rich comment in size.
So now that we've talked about structuring and comments a little bit, let's talk about copy and paste a little bit, Nick. Things that we all did once upon a time, and that we learned not to do that anymore. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So the copy paste, that was the only way we had before to communicate between two files. So that comes from the time of the prehistoric time of FileMaker, let's say. But it's still there because, as I said yesterday, for the ascendant compatibility, the descendant compatibility, FileMaker has to keep the copy paste up. The problem is when you copy something. Let's say I copy the social security number of somebody. So if I said here, I have a new script here, and you say copy, and let's say copy this. And you have a launchpad, and you have a file here, and you have something very critical about the information here. Why I cannot go to browser? Okay, let's say you have something extremely critical here, right? And you have your script here. Let's trigger this script. So you say you put the social security of somebody, okay? And you copy this, right? So you copy, oh, sorry for that. So you copy this, okay? So now this is copy. And when you go to your clipboard, is here. So that means
So back up. So let's cover a little bit of terminology. Why don't you explain what the clipboard is for those of you who don't know? Because I think we assume that everyone knows all this, but sometimes some of the new people don't know. What is a clipboard, and why do I care?
Yeah, so clipboard, well, it's the system. You know, when they invented the copy paste, they said, okay, we need to put the information somewhere. We need to store the information somewhere.
When you copy
when you copy, the information need to be stored somewhere. So since the beginning of time of computer, like the system 1 of Macintosh, you had the clipboard here, and the clipboard is kind of where the information is stored. You know, and along the time, you know, across the time of computing, they enrich the clipboard with the ability to learn, to read, and understand more and more data. Okay, before it was text only. Now you can copy a picture, you can copy a file, you can copy a folder. You know, it's so the clipboard is where it's the buffer. It's a buffer because that's the terminology on the computer.
Yeah, don't use that. Everyone else just imagines a giant global field. It's a global field that that is on your entire computer, that your computer shares with all applications.
But when you hear, you are outside of FileMaker.
I know it's a global that all your entire computer shares.
Yeah.
All the apps.
And if somebody comes. Now, you know, you do something else, you go over and you okay, and you close FileMaker, and somebody goes there and see something. So it's a breach of security. Okay,
it's a breach of security.
This is the most concern. Second concern is that it's extremely slow because you suck up things out of FileMaker, and then you pull back. You know, because pretty much if you copy, what you want to do the pasting, right? So you want to do the paste, which is the one that is what you want to do. You copy, you go somewhere else, and you paste, right? So so when you do this, you do a lot of things, and it's pretty slow, right?
Yeah.
So this is go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. So the copy paste is important. So that's kind of this terminology, this clipboard idea, this terminology. Some people are not familiar with that. Another one that comes up, I'm gonna make myself a little bigger here to help everyone out. We keep saying this term modifier key, right? And so that I don't know if the word modifier key is FileMaker specific, but I'm just doesn't matter. So this is my keyboard over here, right? If I try not to disconnect everything. And so there we go. So you can kind of see over here. So you got the space bar. It's these keys down here, left and right of your space bar. And the modifier keys are, it depends on Mac or Windows. They have different names, but they do basically the same thing. So on the Mac, you've got Command, you've got Option, you've got Control, and you've got Shift. All 4 of those are modifier keys. So when I say, hey, it's a modifier key and the return key together, it means as one of those 4, and the return key will generate that. On Windows, it's got an Alt in here, I think, instead of Option, etc. There's a couple different, they call them different things. But it's like when I do Command, like if I say Command on the Mac, it's Control. The Control key here is different, I think, than the Control on. So there's a Control here, but that's not the same thing as Control on Windows. So that's why when we talk about this, we always say, hey, can a Windows person verify which one this is?
Yeah. Can you show my screen? I can show that while you were speaking, I was building the script that was demonstrating this.
Oh, well, why don't we look at your screen? That would be really awesome. Give me 1 second. Oh, we're back to your screen. There we go.
Okay, so we have multiple of my modifier key, but let's start with the simplest, with the active modifier key. So it's the key you pressed while the script is running. So let's say I'm pressing Shift while the script is running, right? So I launch this script here, and here what happened. So the Shift is 1. That's the number of the key. If I don't press any key, it returns 0. Okay. Now I'm pressing Control, and Control returns. Okay, Control. I can't do Control here because otherwise. But let's say Alt. If I run Alt here, Alt says is 8, and if I say Command is 16, right? So now what happened is I press Alt and Command together, is 24. That means 16 plus 8. 8 was Alt and Command is 16. So now 24. So now you know, you say, oh, by the way, if the get active modifier key is equal 8, okay, deletes, for example, request with no dialogue. Okay, that means if you press Alt, you want to delete with no dialogue. Else, if you don't, you delete with dialogue. So this is something I'm using all the time when I want to. The people say, "Oh, can we get rid of the dialogue when we know what we're doing?" Yeah, press Alt and you don't have the dialogue. Okay, so that was the modifier key are doing. Now, where your ravioli is going to try to melt a little bit here is when you press the keys with the caps lock down. That changed everything. So now, so now the key here is free. So Shift is no longer 2, is free, and Alt is no longer 8, is 10. So it's adding 2 to each keys. So you need to make sure that says if caps lock is locked. So you know what I mean? This is what make active modifier key a nightmare for the developer, because if accidentally you press the cap lock key, all is off. Okay, that's what I want to say.
No, you're fine. I'm actually answering questions in here. So there's a question going in here. Oregon Dean's asked kind of a question. It's kind of a little more advanced question, but I'll go ahead and take it since we're a little bit light on questions today. The question is, if I have a block of code, a block of scripts, and you want to redirect that, say that block of scripts works on a contact solution, and you want to take that block of scripts and have it automatically reapply themselves to like an invoicing table and invoicing layouts, is there an easy way of having that block of scripts kind of redirect their focus to this other section? Okay, well, okay, you want to explain that, Nick? Because I don't think there's a way. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's a way. It's a hack.
Okay, stop. Okay, here's what I said online. I said, no, there's no easy way to do it. Maybe in the future product with XML import or export, but there's definitely a hack. I used to do this with a product called FM Robot years ago. Nathan Schneider is confirming it's a hack.
Okay, but you don't know what I'm going to say. So
well, is it a nasty hack or is it?
No, it's not a nasty hack.
So because Mary Margaret may not like it if it's a nasty hack. I don't know. Okay. Hopefully she's still there.
Okay, let's say my script is involving 3 relationships and 5 fields. I am renaming the relationship involved in the script from the original file exactly the same way of the destination file. So I'm renaming the file. I'm renaming the script. I'm renaming the TOCs and the fields on my original file, like where my script is now, and I want to move to another file. So the other file has naming in the TOC completely different. So I'm renaming from the original file. That means I'm messing up the original file, but I don't care. Most of the time you have a copy of it, right? So you open the copy of your file, you rename all your TOCs and the fields involved in the script exactly the same way as the script over there. Okay, you copy your script, you paste it, and boom. I'm doing that all the time. It saved me hours of work.
Well, yeah, but you have to I don't see how you're going to get around manually redirecting them, right? I mean,
you can't. You don't have to, because what is broken most of the time on the script when you copy paste it is the TOC, the layout name. Of course, you need to rename the layout the same way, and because if you want to copy a script from one place to another, most of the time, most of the base element of the script are already there,
Right. Yeah.
So you have a main table, a destination table,
Yeah, so the idea is that if you took a line, a block of code, and you wanted to, it was in, say, like your starting point, and it works in contacts, and you want to have it and go have it work in projects, it's not going to magically redirect itself. You're going to have to hand stroke the code, go through the code, look at the line, they are set correctly. So there's no, once again, there's no. I hate saying there's no reliable way of doing it, but there's like no way of doing it that doesn't require you to be extremely clever with hacky kind of stuff.
Yeah,
There
that's
is,
what I said. It's hack. It's a hack. But
okay,
it's,
so
yeah.
okay,
But
so
people can experiment. They can experiment if they want with simpler stuff. You start with a simple kind of script with two tables and two relationships, right? Very simple.
Yeah.
And you try the trick and you see if it fits for you, right?
Right.
If it doesn't fit for you, you don't have to.
okay, so after you paste the script in, you can view the script, and then you come over here, right click on that for me, Nick, right there, right click, and let's take a look at that. You can. There's an option there when you right click on that, you say check for problems, and that will highlight all the things that are fundamentally broke. I think it puts them in pink or something like that. So
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you where there's errors in your code. It just tells you where grossly obvious problems, right? So
Yeah.
like if it said run this script, but it couldn't, it says script can't be found or something like that. Oh, right there, it'll do it right there. Okay, do that. Go right. See, notice it says missing table. Perfect. Right click on that for me, please. Hey, it'll say show.
Hold on. Here.
You have to click on the. Yeah, there we go. Check for problems, and it should highlight there. See that? So that is FileMaker is finding what I would consider grossly obvious problems and identifying them for you. So that's kind of the results of when you move a script and it breaks. So there's a question here. Hello, is there a way to have a script to import? Okay, is there a way to have a script that will import export where the fields always have a defined order, not necessarily a match name? Yeah, you can export a specific. Okay, so the question here, I'm going to copy paste it out of Twitch real quick, Nick, so you can see this question.
Yeah.
It just went into Discord and just went into YouTube as well. So yeah, it doesn't have to be match name, right? So,
Yeah, actually, you can import whatever you want. If you define an import order, it will stay. When you say import, let's see if we can.
Go ahead and just do it there. Just do it and show it to them.
Import record here. What you can do here, specific order. So you don't. It's here. You can say the last order, right, or the custom order. So custom order lets you define the order you want to import the thing, right? So you can change this, but most of the time you don't really need that, because I know what you mean when you are recurring. So you can say just custom order and that's it, So yeah, it's not the order that you have here.
It'll save it as part of the script step. So when you do that, it remembers this. And then in the script step,
Yeah, you remember the order you said, for example, because here now you can say, oh, I want the first field I want to be this, and the second field I want to be this, and so you have an order, that's a custom order, right? Otherwise, you have the file type that reflow everything, and field name you reflow everything. But the thing is, within this import script step, it will remember forever the custom order. Right, until you change the custom order. So that's great. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's great. Right. That's great. It's I'm using custom order most of the time. So depending on if I'm importing from the same file, I'm using match name because that is great.
Yeah.
But if it's an Excel file from whoever, I don't know, I have custom order. And so it's Yeah, I understand. Custom order is there. So the custom order, you understand something that custom order works only on the script step, but it will never work on the import file because it cannot remember the custom. It will remember the custom if you import the same file, which is tricky, right? So if you want to import something, even if it's just import, create a script. Not use this. Create a script, because the script will always maintain and keep all the changes you have been there, you put there. Okay.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
important.
So we want to even after recover, so that this person, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, sees even after recover, it will keep that. Yeah, it'll keep it the custom match name even after recover. Just as a reminder to the YouTube and Twitch people, there's about a 90-second delay between when we say something and you hear it. When you type something, we see it immediately, but there's about this 90-second delay. So just keep that in mind. Listen, if a recover scrambles an import order or an export order, then something very bad has happened to your file. That shouldn't happen. That's why I don't use match. I only use matching names if you're importing matching out of another FileMaker file where it's going to get those names in there. Clearly, they're going to match. Otherwise, it's always custom order. It's always custom order, right? Always custom order, right? So
I have an example here to answer this question with the script parameter.
Okay.
So here you can see here all those scripts here. They are outside of any folder in my construction. Why? Because those scripts are scripts I'm passing from file to file on all my productions have this scripts. I call that universal scripts. They work. They are contextless. That means they don't have context, and they work whatever just by the script parameters. Okay, so see here, they all work, all by the script parameters. And sometimes, you say about commenting is very useful to comment the parameters that you need, all the parameters that this script is expecting to have. So the target field, the data, the script to launch, and the script parameter are multiple values, right? So it's that's what the script is expecting to get. So sometimes it's good to have a refresher here to say, oh, by the way, you need that. Okay. So all those scripts are pretty much like, for example, this is delete script is very cool because I have one delete script and I can delete a row in a poll, a record, or a field, which is a clear field. I can clear field. I can, so I have one script that does that for me. On that one script. So then I have one show dialog. Do you want to delete that? Do you want to delete blah? Oh, what happened? I clicked on the wrong thing. Anyway, so yeah, so you click here. So this is very that to answer the multiple buttons kind of thing here. Yeah, the parameter very useful here. Yeah, so here we have a comment here on the Discord from Oregon Dean. Yes, I know. I'm using JSON now. This is my old-fashioned way. Using something that was kind of hard to use, but I got used to, when you have those get parameter value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, now I'm using JSON, okay, but it's or JSON, or I don't know how you pronounce it. So and JSON is more powerful, but it takes more time to build. That's the problem. So I hope one day FileMaker will extend the possibility to create a JSON kind of first list of data without to have to use this cumbersome format element or set element and stuff like that, which is crazy, in my opinion.
Cool. Yeah. Well, tomorrow's broadcast, what is up on the topic? Let me see here.
Can I show something? Just the last thing
will
help everybody.
As long as your clothes are on, yeah, you can show whatever you want.
Yeah, it's two seconds. You notice that I don't use any plugins here. I don't have plugins. I don't. I have the basic. I don't know why it's there, but I don't use it. So I never use this plugin. Okay. So you can see here it's not here in my script and stuff like that. So, but if you want to what's the name? To find something in your script and you don't have the base element kind of a plugin, right? And you want to find something within the script. That means you want to find something here. You want to find this, okay? So you select all your scripts, you print them. That on PC you need a Acrobat reader. But you print them and you open them in, so it takes some time, and you open them in preview. So that's pretty much is
Yeah,
going
that's
to
why
create.
people use the monkey bread plugin. You can't. We do have a
Yeah,
license for that, Nick. It makes it easy. But yeah, you can
yeah.
weasel.
I learned to not work with plugins, and I'm used to the pain actually.
Oh,
It's and so now,
that's a great commentary. You're used to the
yeah,
pain.
yeah, I'm used to the
Dear
pain.
Claris, we love your product. I'm so used to the pain. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So here, for example, I want the script where I have audits. So here I have all the script where I have audit. Advantage of this technique here is you have this results, so you can browse. Monkey Braid doesn't do that, and you can see what around what you look for. So this technique has still an advantage when you versus the plugin, because you see and you can browse. You can browse here, and thanks to the numbering here, you know exactly where you are,
That's
right?
true. That's true. The
Yeah.
numbering is
And,
useful.
and okay, so now the last thing before, yeah, I know, I don't want to go, but let's say I have you see, guys, I'm using the emojis here for that. Okay, it makes my solution more funny, but also it has a purpose. When you do the perform script here and you have the list, right? Okay, it's not here, but where I have the list of scripts and it's all flattened. I don't remember where it was. Anyway, so that's a list where you can remember, you can see where you are very easily. It's very cool. I don't remember where it was, where the list is. Oh yeah, it's here.
Okay, go ahead.
On here. Sorry. Have fun. So when you here and you want to assign a script to a button, okay, and so you here and you want to assign a script to a button here, right? You have this. Oh, you still have. No, I don't remember where it was. Okay. Anyway, never mind. But the search, I'm in 17. I'm in 19. They correct the problem. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're saying
19.
this is a hack in 18 and
No.
17?
No. 19. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to confuse people, but the search thingy, the search thingy with the PDF file. This is great.
Yeah.
This
On
is
the
this is great.
on the to roll all those up or down, that's the option. If you go back to the script workspace, Nick, you hold the option or command key, one of the modifier keys down, then you close the arrow.
Yeah. So you open and close.
Yeah,
So everything open.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Close.
Okay, slow down.
Everything close. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but go to the top. Oh yeah, these don't close because they're not. I would definitely
Yeah.
put those in a folder somewhere, even if they're just because I don't need them. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I call them like 50 times per second.
Okay.
So
All right. So you want them
so
out there? Okay, that's fine.
yeah, I want them there because and this one, those two are very important. Close window. Have always a close window script step. And here I have a comment here that explains that why.
Yep. All right, we're not going to talk about that right now because you're going to cheat and show what's up on tomorrow's broadcast. So tomorrow, during this amazing broadcast, we're going to be doing startup scripts, really close down scripts as well. Startup and close down scripts. Why? Why is it important? It's super important. It'll make your life much better, especially when you get into performance issues, right? So, and they're pretty easy to do. So startup script, close down script, it's the first script that runs, it's the last script that runs, assuming the person closes the file correctly. Very important concept there because not everyone exits a file correctly, right, Nick? Some people just disconnect themselves, right?
Yeah,
So,
they also force quit FileMaker.
or they're on their mobile device and they go out of range and it's just goodbye. So, if you have questions, make sure if you want to talk to us about offline questions or topics for this broadcast every day at 1 o'clock, feel free to shoot us an email to support@RC Consulting. And until tomorrow at that time, we'll catch you later.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front, protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.